Another thing that I feel for myself personally that should be in the graveyard and I'm skipping it, I'm not going to be doing it, is allowing people to tell me what the title of my book should be. One thing that I'm skipping that's basically going to the graveyard is looking for a person to do my layout and design for my book. I found my person. Once you find your person, you don't need to do that anymore. You need to ask around, ask other people that have published books or have self published books, and ask them who they use to lay out their book. And it may be that they did it themselves. Look at other people's work, and inside the books, you'll see who did the layout, the design, the cover, the illustrations, or what have you, and reach out to those people. You see their work is great, and then get quotes. Get quotes from people and work within your budget and your timing. So you might need to do it in stages. But I'm not going to look for the perfect person. I found my person. You can find your person as well. It's just a matter of doing some research and look at other good work that you've seen and start there. Another behavior that I'm not doing anymore, that's graveyard behavior, it's dead, is that I'm trying to stay in my own wheelhouse, so I'm staying in my own lane. I'm not trying to do something that I know I'm not an expert at doing. So this is dead to me. I don't need to try it. I know what my part is. My part is writing the book. So I don't need to try to figure it out. I've done that before and it hasn't worked for me. So I stay in my own wheelhouse, in my lane, and I drive the boat or the car as far as this is what the content is. Now, let me find the people to help me. Another thing that I'm not doing as far as, um, things that should be in the graveyard is I'm not forcing my book on anyone. I'm not begging people to buy the book. I'm not saying, hey, can you buy my book? They have not showed interest in buying my book. So I'm not going to try to force it on them. If that's not their genre, then I'm not going to try to do it. There's no reason me saying, hey, take this book, and they're never going to read it. So, 10% of the people who buy your books read the books. The other 90% are just being nice. Then there are some people who are like, yeah, I read everything, but they're few and far in between. So, you don't have to force your book on anyone, and I don't. I just create the books for myself, and then I say, here they are, and if someone wants them, yay. Graveyard behavior is when you're trying to prove to everyone that you are a writer or that you're a good writer. You are a writer. You can be an author. You can be published. Your work may not be the best in a cookie jar. It may need work. You may need someone to help you with other parts of the book to make it make sense or make it flow. But for the most part, don't try to prove to people that you're a writer or an author. Once you're out there, you're out there. You can start with poetry, then you can go to short stories, then you can go to a full blown book. But all these different types of writing, these different genres are books. They're all books. So put your work together and make a book. Another thing that I feel for myself personally that should be in the graveyard and I'm skipping it, I'm not going to be doing it, is allowing people to tell me what the title of my book should be. I know what I want to call the book. It may start out as one thing, but then by the time I finish writing it, it might be another. But people will give you suggestions. Oh, you should call it this, or you should shorten the name. You should do what makes you happy. Yes, I've seen books where the titles are very long, but that's the way that they needed to say it. Maybe it could be truncated and they didn't realize it at the time. And so along their journey, they'll find out or they'll realize, hey, I can shorten my title. And so some people make them aware and some people don't. I do not allow anyone because I know in my heart what I want it to be. And I also try to tie it to the content. So if it's not, that's on me. But I own that. I own whatever it is and I sit with it. So that's one thing that's going to the graveyard, and I'm skipping letting people tell me what the title is. I determine it.